guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. I am so happy you found us. Today we are doing something super exciting. We are going back to basics. This is a 3-part video where we're going to start at the very beginning of putting a journal together and work our way all the way through to a completed, really cool journal. So if you've never done a journal, come do it with me. Or if you've forgotten or want to refresh your course, come along. The 3 parts will be today, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I'm putting a space in between to get people time to catch up if they're going to work along with me. And for those that aren't doing the Back to Basics journal, I have some really cool videos set up for Wednesday and Friday. So I just thought it would work better that way. Today, I'm super excited. We're going to start with the most basic step of putting a journal together, and that's paper selection. So let's just jump right into this video. Before we do, though, I want to remind everybody, check out my art channel. I did a great video yesterday about some really cool gifts for the art lover in your life. So go check that out. Be sure and subscribe to that channel. Give it a thumbs up and hit that little bell. Also, check out Becoming Female. It's got some great videos over there. And be sure and hit the subscribe button over there as well. Okay, let's jump in. So the very first thing you do when creating a journal is to choose your papers. And I've heard a lot of people say, well, where do I find these papers? What are they? It's really simple. Copy paper or, printer paper. Grab some printer paper. Grab some music paper, music sheets. You can find these at thrift stores. You can find them at garage sales, eBay, Etsy. You can find music sheets. Look for old accounting notebooks, old accounting sheets like this. Again, Etsy, eBay, garage sales, thrift stores. Record books, record keeping books, any kind. These make great pages for journals as well. Book pages, paper bags, another book page, a little bigger, so different sizes too. Your paper does not have to be uniform. It doesn't have to be all 8.5 by 11. It can be scraps and pieces of paper. If it looks good and it fits what you want to do it, because that's what's important. Parts of journals like, educational journals, notebooks, those kind of things make great pages. Magazines make great pages. Large doilies make great pages. Notebook paper makes great pages. You can also add map pages and grid pages. I can't think of what it's called, but grid pages. Basically anything you can think of. Notepads. Paper off of a notepad makes great pages. Scrap paper from scrapbook paper. Cardstock. Anything that you can think of, any type of paper, use it. It's really up to what you want to use. So, how many sheets do you need? For a basic journal, going back to the beginning, I would say between 10 and 15 sheets. That'll give you 40 to 45 pages in your journal. So that's a nice size journal. And that's one signature. Now, wait. What is a signature? A signature is just all of your pages a signature is all of your papers put together and folded in half. And that is your signature. And one signature is the 10 to 15 pages, which is 40 to 45 total pages. Okay, so a signature is just all of your papers folded together into a grouping, okay? And normally, a beginner, a back to basic journal would have 1 signature to 2. Remember, they expand as you add stuff and journal in them. So, for a beginner, for a back to basic journal, I'm going to say 1 signature to 2, okay? So once you get all your papers together that you think are going to be pages in your first signature in your journal, put them together in a stack and then move them out of the way, set them aside, because now I want you to go gather pages or scraps of paper that can be a belly band, that can be a tuck spot, that can be a pocket, okay? So why am I doing that now? I'll tell you in a minute. But let's go ahead. This would make a good pocket, cut down to size. You could, this would make a good belly band or a tuck spot at the top. And this isn't paper, it's a canvas sheet, but like I said, you can use fabric, felt, anything you want. You're only limited by your imagination as a page in your signature. Okay, once you grab those papers for pockets, belly bands, and tuck spots, sit them on top of your stack of paper for your pages. Now I want you to collect things like tags, journaling cards, guest checks, scraps of fabric, envelopes, scraps of paper, anything that you might use to write on, journal on, make notes, that kind of thing. This pile is your ephemera, okay? And it may not be all you need, but grab a bunch of it. So I have a scrap of fabric, I have a book of guest checks, and again, this can be found at thrift stores, garage sales, estate sales, off of eBay, off of Etsy. I have a smaller page. I have some stamps. I have just a little receipt. I have some tickets. I have different size tags, just different size scrap paper. I have flashcards. Flashcards are great for ephemera. Postcards, playing cards, and an envelope. Okay, so once you get your ephemera pile, put it on top of your pockets and belly bands and tuck spots on top of your pages. Now this whole stack that you have accumulated needs to be coffee dyed, because that's the next step. That's step number 2. After you get it all together, go coffee dye it. And the reason I'm doing it all at one time is because coffee dyeing takes a long time. And if I'm going to make the coffee, I'm going to make the mess, I'm going to do it all at one time. I don't want to stop in the middle when I start putting it together and have to go coffee dye some more. So get all of your stuff together and head to the kitchen to coffee dye. And I'm going to link above right now a video I did at the beginning of the year about coffee dyeing your papers. So you can pause this video, go watch that one, and go coffee dye your papers. Okay guys, I hope that went well. I hope it went smoothly for you. Now, we're going to say all of your papers are coffee dyed and ready for the next step. So what we're going to do is we're going to ink our edges. That gives your page depth and interest, and it'll just make it stand out more, and you'll be way happier with it. So this is a step that is a beginner, or just even as somebody who's been making journals a long time, I forget sometime to ink my pages. And the best time to do it is before they're folded, before they're connected in your journal. It just is easier if you do it before you fold them while they're still flat, right after coffee dyeing. So I'm just going to ink up all of the pages. Once I ink up all of the pages, then I'm going to go ink up all the bits and scraps that I had for pockets, belly bands, and tuck spots. And then you guessed it, after that, I'm going to go ink up all of the tags, cards, flashcards, journaling cards, guest checks, all of that. I'm going to ink the edges on all of that too. So this takes a little while, again, because prepping everything seems to take longer than putting it together. So let's just get into this real fast and ink everything up. Okay, after you get everything inked up, the next step is to put your pages together. So you're just going to put them in any order that you would like your pages in and fold them in half. So you're going to start to build your signature. So all I'm doing is taking my pages and folding them in half, and then I will put them into a signature in the order that I want them. If you have torn edges on a paper, you can trim that off with a scissor if you want, or you can leave it. It's up to you. It does add some interest, makes it a little different, so totally up to you. I've got them all folded. Now I'm just going to build them the way I see them going together. Everybody's different. Everybody likes their pages different ways, so you can make yours however you want to. I like to have different sizes, different lengths. And remember, this isn't anything fancy. We are doing a back to basics. And you may have dyed some, and then you may decide, oh, I don't want to use that. And that's fine. You know, save it for the next one. Okay, let's see how many pages that is. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. That's a nice size signature. As you can see, 11 times 4, because there's 4 sides to a page, to a paper. That's 44 pages in one signature. I think that's a good size, and I think I'm only going to do one signature. Though I do want to add another couple of half sheets because I like the interest of the shorter sheets compared to the full-size sheets. So let's see, it's 12, 13, 14. Okay, I'm going to go with 14. I'm not going to use this one. I already used that. Okay, so that's good. 14, so that is 56 pages. That's a nice size basic journal. I'll go with that. Okay, so that's what it looks like now. Now, I like to, at this point, go back and add some interest to some of my pages with my ink again. So I know we've already inked the edges, but now we're going to go and add a little bit of texture and interest to a few of the pages that are plain, like this plain coffee stained piece of copy paper. And what I'm going to use is I'm going to use my little stamp that's for texture. It's just a bunch of tiny looking little word things. Or if you don't have stamps, you can use stencils. And I have a honeycomb stencil that I thought might be pretty as well in the center. And if you don't have ink or an ink dauber to do this with, you can always use watercolor paint. Just you're going to have to let it dry. So it's totally up to you. I like to kind of rotate and use the ink with the dauber to get the pattern. And then sometimes I like to do the watercolor. So it's totally up to you. Mix it up. And I am doing this all tones of, what is this one? This is Distressed Ink, Tim Holtz, and it is the color Tea Dye. So I do like to use, keep it pretty simple, but sometimes I like to use colors. When I did a sea one, I kind of mixed in some sea green and some blue. So it's up to you. So with this, you just come in, hold your stencil down, and just kind of stencil, kind of rub it around on there. And you're just making a little pattern on the paper. You're not going to cover the whole paper. But there. And I've just added a little interest to my page by just doing a little ink. Very, very simple. You'd get the same effect with watercolor. Now, maybe I want to add some with my stamp on this page. So I'm going to get my stamp out. My stamp is really large, which is fine. I'm just going to use a little corner of it. And I'm just going to, put it on the page in a few spots. Okay, now I've added a little more interest to this page using my stamp. So that's a way for the plain pages that don't have any lines or anything that you can add a little movement and a little interest. And it's simple, simple to do. Okay? And you can go through and do that on as many pages as you like. And I like to do that before my pages are attached to the cover. Just makes it easier. Okay? Because like I said, we're back to basics. And this is all about just the basics of, doing it simple. Okay. So we've added a little texture to some of our pages, which is great. Now, I like to add my pockets, belly bands, and tuck spots again before I attach my signature to my cover. I think it's just easier to work with this way. So I'm going to get my signature together. I'm going to make sure the crease is nice and tight. Okay, now I'm going to go through and check out. Now I'm going to look for my flashcard and my cardstock. And these are going to be some pockets, and my little playing card is going to be a tuck spot, just to give you an idea. I also have this piece of burlap that is going to be a belly band. So let's get started. Let me see, where am I going to put my first pocket? I think I'll put my first pocket on this page right here. So I'm going to take out the rest of the pages, move them out of the way, just it's easier to work. I'm going to bring in my flashcard, and I'm going to just attach it to my page. Now, I'm going to stop right here and give you an option. Your option is you don't have to just attach a plain card to make a pocket. You could also decorate the card up before you attach it. That's up to you. But keep in mind, the heavier things get, the more built out they get, the harder it is going to be to get your signature sewn in, to corral everything, because you might knock stuff off once you start putting your pages in. So I leave all my pockets and my tuck spots and belly bands plain until after I get my signature sewn into my cover. So all I would do to attach this pocket is very simply put some tape on 3 sides. And that would be it. That would be my pocket there. So I'm going to get my tape and do that. And again, you can glue if you want. When I'm doing these videos, it's easier to use double-sided tape. And I don't know if you saw what I did there, but one side of this card is scratchy and it's not shiny, and one card is slick and it's shiny. And I'm putting the shiny side against the paper so I can decorate the side that's not shiny, that has some tooth to it, so it'll accept glue and decorations later. Okay, so I've got the bottom piece of tape on. I'm going to put the side, and I'm just going to attach it right there. But I left room so that it's not in the crease where the stitching is going to go to attach my whole signature. And then there is my pocket attached. I'll put back my other papers and I'll go flip through and see where I want to put my belly band. And I think I'm going to put my belly band on this page right here. Now you can do thick belly bands, you can do thin. What I'm going to take is, first I'm going to measure my piece of, called it burlap, that's what it is, my piece of burlap page here to the length of the page I'm going to put it on. I'm not measuring straight lines or anything. Of course you can. That's your prerogative. Remember, my channel is just here to give inspiration and ideas. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm going to cut it in half so it represents more of a band and not a page itself, because it's kind of thick. And there we go. There is the first belly band. And all I'm going to do is add some tape to each end, and that's it. And there I have a belly band. I'm going to flip a few more pages. And I think I will come to the back pages. And I think I will put a tuck spot on top of this map page right here. And for the tuck spot, I'm going to use... And there's all sorts of ideas for tuck spots. If you want a big one, you could use a playing card. If you wanted a smaller one, you could use a tag, anything in between. I'm going to use one of these milk tags because they're really sturdy and they're a good size to make for a tuck spot. For my tuck spots, I only put tape across the edge and on one side just about halfway down. And then I have plenty of room to tuck stuff into. Now something this small you might want to go ahead and decorate. Or like me, I think I will leave it just plain anyway. You could also paint your things. You could also, add a little ink design like we did on the page. You could do that on your tuck spots, your belly bands, your pockets. So really how you decorate these. We'll get more into decoration, of course, when we start doing the ephemera. But that's just some options for you at this point in time if you want to decorate them beforehand. And all I did was put tape on the top and one side, and then as you can see, it's a great tuck spot. Okay, so now with my tuck spots and my pages with a little bit of decor on them with the ink, I'm ready to attach this signature into my cover after we decorate our cover. So part 2 will be, we'll stop on the pages and the decorating our signature, and we will move to the cover because that's how I work. After I get my signature, the bones of my signature together, I stop, I measure, and I go make my cover. Okay guys, remember part 2 of Back to the Basics journaling is going to be on Thursday, part 3 on Saturday. Tomorrow is a great gift idea using only a thrifted item. I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Oh, and be sure and hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell, and give it a thumbs up. Also, leave me a comment down below. When did you start junk journaling? Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.